I know when I was little, they said that that we set policy at like the Star People place, and I'm like, okay, so you set policy, and you have respectful day jobs somewhere doing something, all right, and now I think they said that they had more of a quiet tenure, more of like a memory. They call themselves like the mammary part or gland of the operation for myself, being that I was taken, and in case, right, the testosterone part wasn't able to get their piece put together, they were preparing for whatever, I guess all the what ifs along the way when I was little. Hoping that this didn't turn into some kind of strategy game with the VR department and like people back in like the street people, the common fig, FIGCOMMON, didn't even know these things. I mean, I'm the ivory pomegranate. I didn't know these things in the where I woke up to New York. Excuse me. Or the outer borough of Queens. And let's think about this. And so, right, so I put up a thing before. I said ivory pomegranate and a common fig. Maybe try asking if they've ever tried figgy pudding. I know that at one point, like, you're supposed to give into the system. That's the way that ministry works. But people have been taking and taking and taking and not giving anything. I haven't received anything. So, they've been taking me and moving me to get questions answered to cover themselves and their service members or whatever in some ancillary system method that I have no way of tracking or calling on or finding out who's in charge of it, where they're moving me, how they're taking me, to update their own records and carousel system on some other fictitious calendar just to cover themselves for compliance, I suppose, in governmental levels. But all the while knowing that then they send me straight back to the coordinates of all alone. So when I have, I guess it's chastity belt and chastity binding to the chassis of the whatever, but there's a lot of churning, CHURNING, like a cement tumbler. Like there's all this like mixing, but like nothing ever gets poured into concrete and fixed and set for him and I. Instead, you get me bound to some other life that I never wanted or agreed to. And so I don't know how to get out of this part. I mean, I didn't want to go head first into this part anyway. I'm like, why can't we just skip the bad things and just go to what I need? Why is everybody else's life more important than the safety procedure that must be completed? I mean, I was taken out of an ancillary, I've been taken out of my life, I mean, several times and moved, but never to like happily ever after where I stay. It's always back to this. In chronicles and chapters of Dromedary, and linear and fear with the wind program, it works very different at sacrilegious as opposed to the lower houses that are bound by a book and a set of principles and whatnot. Mine is able to sack the religious houses and take them down if they don't comply with the needs of the binding of me and the safety procedure. I'm at age 42, AGE, and then it's Deca 4, year 2.